Typically, the final movie in a trilogy is a bit of a letdown. I'm looking at you, Matrix 3. But this story's conclusion even impressed my dad.
Really?
Yep, that's how my dad expresses being impressed. Admittedly, he could learn some things from my mom about how to be amazed.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
We begin in Monroe County, Alabama. Monroe County is the birthplace of two things. Harper Lee, the author of the classic book To Kill a Mockingbird, was born in Monroeville, and my dad was born not that far away in Vredenburg. Well, today we are headed to the courthouse that was the model for the one that was used in the movie based on the book.
When we last spoke, you remember we were talking about Reason McCants.
Reason McCants, yes.
Reason McCants. Every time I've heard his name since I first heard it in Berkeley, I think of Earth, Wind, and Fire's Reasons. Reason is my great-great-grandfather, and he's got a great name.
We found this really amazing record. This might take a little squinting on it, but this is a voter registration form. You can find Reason's name. The last name is very hard to read.
There it is.
Hold on. Let's go full CSI here. Enhance. There we go. Physical proof that my great-great-grandfather was registered to vote in Alabama just 2 years after the Civil War ended. Damn. My dad's reaction pretty much sums it all up.
No reason.
So we dug a little deeper, and there was an election where Gillette was suing his opponent, Herndon, because they wanted to find out if there were any problems with the voting.
Voting irregularity. I can't even imagine.
They brought people to put together depositions about how they voted. And so we decided to go see if we could find some information about that, and we found a deposition in the court records. This is the court case of Gillette versus Herndon.
Deposition to the United States Congress court case. Reason McCants.
Okay, so it turns out that the Republican candidate, Gillette, was the candidate of choice for African Americans. But mysteriously in this race, the Republican received no votes in the area. And this document shows that Reason publicly testified that he witnessed people voting the Republican ticket. Gone, Reason.
Wow. That had to be intimidating to be deposed.
Mm-hmm. And here's a guy who was willing to step up.
Yep.
And registered to vote.
Registered to vote. And an activist.
I think so.
Because why would they depose him if he wasn't an activist? Now, he was holding the tickets.
Uh-huh. Why would they have asked him?
The tickets were the votes. So Reason McCants was a go-getter.
I think so.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me wish that I was having a boy so I could bring that name Reason back. Reason could be a girl's name. That's true.
Like
Yeah.
Meet my daughter, Reason Bell. For our next stop, we head to Vredenburg, Alabama, where my dad's family lived for generations. It's also the location of one of our family's oldest stories. We've always believed that a slave owner by the name of Dockery owned my great-great-grandmother, Frances Bell. It just made sense considering the times in their relationship. They had 13 children, and that is where the Bell family name came from. But back in Berkeley, Jennifer dropped this on us.
It's very clear that Carol at no point owned Frances.
That's okay.
And as far as we can tell, it looks like he never was a slave owner of any kind.
Oh, really? Really? He was just some dude?
And now in trademark Ancestry fashion, she's got some more tricks up her sleeve.
So we'll start here. This is the 1870 census. 1870 is the first time that all African Americans are listed by name in the census records. So we've got C.J. Dockery there.
Frances Bell.
Each of these markings here is showing the households. So here in 1870, they are living together in the same household.
Really?
Remember what I said earlier? My dad's really is the equivalent of my mom's wow. So I'm pretty sure his mind is blown. Not only was CJ not Frances's owner, but it turns out they were living together in the same house.
I just thought it was one of those midnight sneaks.
Midnight Sneak? Was that the B-side to TLC's Creep?
But C.J. Dockery died with nothing. He had considerable debts, and so a lot of his land had to be sold off in order to pay those debts. It'd be nice if you had a piece of paper that proved that Frances bought the land from him.
For and in consideration of the sum of $200 paid by
Francis Bell.
Great job.
Thank you.
He didn't say that to me till I got my second television show. So that's a big deal.
Thank you.
Big deal.
You're invited to family reunions now.
So this land is down the road, and we wanted to go there, but we were afraid we might get stuck. So while we can't go there, we have something that can go there so that we can take a look at it.
Okay. All right. That's the land.
Yeah.
Francis Bell's land.
This land is about a mile from the road we came in on. That $200 purchase is a legacy that endures today. Francis's land, plus some of the surrounding area, remain in the Bell family. Let me be clear, me and my dad don't personally own any of it, but it is still owned by members of our family. Pretty neat. Our last stop on our land is a place I'm becoming very familiar with, the Bell Family Cemetery. My dad and I came here last year to film an episode of United Shades of America, but now the story's changed quite a bit.
When we started this, I think I was really focused on the DNA percentages, like what percentage of this am I, what percentage of this am I, because it's a way to sort of like think about the kids and how, so they can know literally where they come from, their DNA. But hanging out with my mom in Tennessee and hanging out with you here, it's like, this is the part that the older people care about. Like, this is like, who are these people, you know?
Yeah, I'm very pleased to understand Frances and their relationship that she had with Carol. We've always called him Dockery, and that the relationship that he and Frances had was consensual. To have the deed, so to speak, of a land sale transaction, it's quite a piece of history.
Last time I was here with my dad, I wondered why our last name wasn't Dockery. We thought it was because CJ had a family of his own and didn't want to give his name to the people he had enslaved. But apparently, we were way off. CJ didn't own any enslaved Africans when he met Francis, and they lived together as best they could as family, even though they weren't married, kind of like my parents weren't married. And they were of two different races, kind of like me and Melissa are. I'm happy I did this. Not so much for me, but so I can tell my kids where they come from. And it was incredible to see how happy my parents were to find out more information about our family. But if I'm honest, the thing that makes me the most happy about all this is that Ancestry's invite for me to do this gave me this rare moment right here. I guess I did this for good. Thanks, Ancestry. See you all next week on Finding Kamau. Wait, we're done?